Having your own business has its own advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage of having your own business is the opportunity to be your own boss. I know that had to come in somewhere, and there's a program actually in the country right now about being your own boss. Check the link in the description below. Apply, start your own business. If you have a business, this is an opportunity for you to get financing. They're not a sponsor of this channel, not yet anyway. I wish I could get a sponsorship from them, but that is a good program that you can get into if you have a business, if you have a business idea and you are a young person. Please apply right now. Getting involved in such a program would actually help you as a business person because you would get mentoring. You'd actually be able to start your business in an easy way. If you need any tips on how to start a business, or if you'd like to see any courses, I will place a link below to a site known as udemy.com. It is a site where you can go and actually learn different skills that would help you in your business. The second advantage of having your own business is that your hard work is what pays you and not someone who determines how much you will make. I know so many people who have started their business and gotten very, very successful to a point where they would never have been able to get to if they had stayed in employment. And this is because the amount of work you put into your business, the amount of time you take in your business is what is commensurate with the amount of success that you will get. Because once you put time and effort into your business to place processes and to place time and effort into your business, that is the way that you will be able to succeed. If you were in employment, then it would mean that at the end of the month, someone has determined this is the amount of money that you will make. This is the amount of money, no matter how much you have brought in, this is what we will compensate you with. But in a business, it is very different. If you make $1 million, the money is yours. If you make 10, if you make 100, all that money belongs to you. The next thing is security of tenure. Of course, people get into business because they don't want to ever get into the office and be told, we no longer need your services. If you're in a business, you are the business belongs to you. No one will ever come and tell you that your services are no longer required, except in times when your business has actually failed to the point that it is no longer working. But unless that happens, the people in the corporate world every day, sometimes they always think of, maybe today is the last day that I will be allowed into this workplace. There are places where people have gone in the morning and found that they cannot be able to access the building. Why? Because they do not anymore have their jobs. But if you have a business that is running, then you determine how well it will work, ceteris paribus of course, but you determine the success and the failure of your business. The next advantage of having your own business is that you get to see everything from a bird's eye view. Sometimes when you're working in corporate, your work is a particular thing. I remember during those days before we were born, in the banks there used to be someone who would specifically be calling out names of the people who are supposed to be served. So you'd come in with your pass or with your account number, and you would tell the person, this first person, that you would like to withdraw money from your account. Then they would pick that pass that you had and go and pick your account ledger, for instance, and that was their work. And then they would go from that account ledger and it would go to someone else who was like a passing clerk, who would just check your signature, and that was his work. and then it would go to someone else who would actually do the checking on your, who would do the amendment on your account ledger, and that was his work. And then someone else would pay you, and then you would leave. And it was, every single person had their own speciality, and that is all they used to do. But on the other hand, if you're in business, you're dealing with human resource where you're hiring people or even firing people. If you're on the second level, you could be dealing with marketing, where you make sure that you are advertising your business and looking for new business in business development. You could also look at your own operations, where you look at how your customers are paying you, what the suppliers you need to pay, what kind of things you need to do in terms of rent payments or electricity bills payment. All these things you can be able to look at, and you can be able to learn all these aspects because you are in business, and you have a control, you have a say over all these aspects of your business because you are the one who delegates all those duties to different people. Another advantage of business is the fact that many, if not all, businesses are geared towards something that is a passion for the entrepreneur. You would get into a business that you're really passionate about. It can be a salon, it can be a retail shop, it can be a food chain. You're doing something that you actually love doing. So no one is forcing you to wake up in the morning to go and do that particular thing, because it is something that you enjoy doing, something that you even would do for free, but you're making money out of it. And that is a good advantage of a business, because you get to do the things that you love to do. The next advantage of starting a business is that you never need to worry about payment. Did you know that the owner of a particular company can realistically not need to earn a salary, because at the end of the year, all the profits belong to you? And if you're employed, then it is your employer who determines how much you will make, and if they will give you a raise next year, if you will get promoted. And all this is stifling the income earning ability that you have as a person. But if you're in business, if you go and you're actually aggressive in the marketplace, the market will reward you with money. The market will reward you with paying you for the services that you offer. And there is no time that you will ever get to a point where you feel like you need a salary from your business. As a business owner, you don't need to be paid by the business, because the business in essence belongs to you. On the flip side, starting a business is not always rosy. The fact of the matter is, starting a business is extremely risky. You risk failing at whatever you're doing. You'll risk losing all the money that you had actually put into the business. You risk disappointment. Of course, failure is a part of business, and you should never be afraid. But I'm saying, if you want something that is assured, that will never lose any money, then please do not start a business. Most businesses fail because of the shock that the entrepreneur has as he is moving from employment into entrepreneurship. I will do several other videos on the transition between employment and business. Watch out for them on this channel. The second downside of starting a business is that sometimes it can be a very costly affair. Now, I'm not saying that all businesses require you to have a lot of money in order for them to succeed. In fact, I have done a video on businesses that you can be able to do if you have no money. Check it out here. Now, many businesses, for you to be able to start, there are licenses, there is equipment, there is hiring of a particular place in order to do that business from, and all this means cash. If you do not have the money, then you cannot be able to start at a level that will start to make you money. Estimate the amount of work and the amount of energy that it would take to actually do that particular business, and that is the reason why the business fails. One of the things that makes people get into business is the fact that they will never need to work another day. But the truth is, sometimes when there is a lot of work to be done, it may lead to overtime work. If you are an employee, that would be no problem, because every extra hour that you work on overtime would actually mean that you get more pay. But if you're an entrepreneur, then you need to put in extra hours to make sure that you get this business to get on its 2 feet. If you do not like hard work, then business is definitely not for you. You have to make sure that every single day you put your best foot forward. There is no time for laziness. There is no time for taking breaks until that business has actually stood and is actually making money. Another downside of starting a business is on financial obligations. As you're starting your business, there is a great possibility that you'll not make any money, or you'll make very little money from your business. At the same time, your rent is still due, your food expenses, your home expenses are still due, and it is possible for you to struggle in your business as you're continuing to grow it. And this can put a financial strain on yourself, on your family, on the people who are depending on you. So when you're starting a business, it's important to look at all these factors before you plunge into it, because there are people who are looking at you to feed them. And if you cannot be able to do it, then you will have failed as a person. There are times when you are in business where you actually have an issue with a client, or you have an issue with a particular supplier or a debtor, and it results in a lawsuit which will cost you money. These are all risks that you're taking, because this is money that you will spend to pay lawyers, to pay legal fees for these lawyers, to actually, and the involvement that you're having may lead to a loss of reputation in the marketplace. All these are risks that you are bound to face if you decide to start a business. So from the discussion that we have just had, please let me know in the comments below, are you a business person, or were you meant to be an employee? Share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to read them. I'd love to answer the questions that you have. And as always, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friend if you know that they're thinking about the advantages and disadvantages of either being employed or being in business. See you in the next one.